All right, hello. Welcome to the Vulgar Vegan podcast. Let's see how this goes. I've officially run out of time with posting things on Instagram and kind of documenting my walk, which is a pretty important part of the walk, is making sure people know that I'm doing it. Otherwise, what the fuck am I raising awareness for other than myself walking across America? So, I decided to create this podcast and see if people will listen to it. Who knows? I've been told I have a very nice voice. um, this feels so. I just want to describe the situation that I'm in right now. I am sitting in a really weird kind of industrial hotel room. That's the best way I could describe it, is industrial hotel room in Wickenburg, Arizona. And the room is as big as it gets. It's wide and like awkward, and it's a really strange room. And I found out that I got the handicap room, so you can roam around in a fucking wheelchair. But I'm sitting in this funky ass. Yeah, let's start this thing off right with me just choking on shit. I decided so I'm sitting in this funky fucking hotel room. It's got everything you need, but the walls are thinner than paper, and I can literally hear what the guy in the next room is doing, which means he could probably hear everything that I'm doing right now. I've been listening to his TV all night, and he's probably been listening to mine. So he got a couple episodes of Dirty Jobs, and I got a couple episodes of, like, infomercials. And anyways, right now I'm sitting in a chair, looking in a mirror, watching myself fucking do this. And I have the Holy Bible that comes with most hotel rooms as my kind of tripod for my phone, so it's pointed directly towards my mouth. I'm only in my underwear right now, and it is 9:20 in the morning, which is way past the time that I shouldn't be doing this. I'm very late right now. I have 20 miles to walk today. I'm walking all the way to Morristown or something like that. I think it's not. Whitman. I'm walking to Whitman, which is shit. I mean, it's got to be like about 15 miles from like Surprise, Arizona, which is basically Phoenix. So that's good news. But I'm fucking up. I'm staying in this hotel room way too late. Checkout time's at 11. I'm almost going to be staying until then. And I still got 20 miles. That's fucking 6 hours. I don't know what I'm really doing right now. But I feel like I should record myself talking, get the shit recorded, and then just post it, man. Like 30 minutes every once in a while, and just post it, and see what happens. Now, let's see. I can already tell that most of this podcast is going to be just me going, what should I fucking say? I apologize for the shit equipment. I'm using my old phone to record this because it has the most space. My other phone will run out of space quite fast if I were to record it on that one. And I apologize if you hear anything but me during this podcast. Like I said, the walls are thin and the recording device is complete garbage. Now, I would like to talk about another reason why I have this podcast. My Instagram persona, per se, isn't really me, to be honest. It's kind of a fun, like PG-13 version of me. I am fucking rated R, dude. I bitch a lot. I curse. I'm not very apologetic with the way I speak. I'm a vulgar vegan. I think that's the best way you can probably describe me, is I really give a shit about veganism, and I don't really care what you think I have to say about it. I've tried to be a little more understanding with the way I speak so I can get my message across better, but to be completely honest, that's just not who I fucking am. Now, this podcast, I strongly believe, is going to capture who I am a lot better, because I am not... I mean, I'm friendly, but I'm not, and I'm respectful, but I'm not like, I'm vulgar. I'm fucking vulgar, man. I like to curse. I talk dirty. I really do. I love a good conversation about vaginas and penises and sex and the whole thing. And I don't do drugs, but I love to talk about it and talking about all kinds of crazy shit. I really do. I have lots of stories. In high school, I wasn't really the greatest guy. And I've got a lot of fucked up stories. So I'm hoping that this podcast will be a little bit more honest, while my Instagram account is a little bit more fun. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just turned off my phone that was filming me do half of that. Ooh, in fact, I need to plug this phone in real quick. Oh, never mind. I packed my charger. All right. So, I want to tell you guys a story because I'm not able to really capture the fucking story that well on Instagram. I mean, you can either record and put it on your story on Instagram, and you have to do it 1 minute at a time, and then the shit doesn't even fucking post all the fucking time, man. It really is not. Instagram sucks. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest. I fucking hate Instagram a lot. I really do. Fucking. I really don't like Instagram. It drives me nuts. I used to love it. I used to fucking advertise it. I used to tell people you should get Instagram. It's the best platform, I'd say. It's the best platform for getting what you need to get out there. I hate it now because it half the time won't let me post shit. I don't know why. It needs like the best service ever to post shit. And then even with the best service, it still takes about at least 2 minutes to post something. And then if you post something right after you tried to post something, it's still posting. That last thing won't post. It'll just stop, and then the other thing will post. So now you got this weird, not chronological order. Anyways, fucking A. So I tried to talk about what happened to me about a week ago. I don't even remember when the fuck this was, man. That's the thing about walking across America is you lose track of time, man. I don't even know what day it is. It's Monday. That's right, it's Monday. Maybe I'll do this podcast every Monday. That'd be kind of funny. It'd be like the Monday morning podcast, like Bill Burr. So I don't. Okay, this is about a week ago. I could find out right now when this was. Actually, 1 second. Fucking Instagram. It was day 25. Today's the 31st, I believe, right now. Yeah. I've been walking across America for a month, by the way. So day 20, so it was 6 days ago. So it was about a week ago. So a week ago, I'm walking on, I believe it's the 60, and I'm walking to Bouse. God, this is how it goes, man. I'm walking to Bouse. I'm walking to Bouse, Arizona from Siloam, which is huge distance for the average Joe. And on my way, I'm getting fucking lonely, dude. Because when you're out there in the desert and you're kind of dealing with that lifestyle of just like your only company are people going 60 miles an hour faster than you, and they're surrounded by steel. Those are the only other kinds of people you get to meet are just giant, fast machines that are encasing a human being, and they're flying past you, and they could kill you. So it's not the best company. So you're fucking lonely out there. And especially in the desert, you don't even have animal companions to hang out with, man. I mean, you're really just fucking out there. So I'm getting really lonely. And I'm walking, and the only amount of company I got, which was really beautiful, is this guy named Alexander. Or I think his name is, it's like Alex, and then this is why I need my other phone right here. Yeah, Alexander. He's another cross-country walker. You can check out his Instagram. I think it's _ Alec, ALEC, and then like Xander's, ZANDER, and then _ again. He's walking to Alaska. Now, he tracked me down, found me, hung out with me, which was cool. I got to only spend like about 5 minutes with him. I wish I could spend longer because, like I said, I was fucking lonely. But he did that for me. He drove all the way out there. I don't even know where he was coming from. I think he is from Arizona, but he said that he drove about like 2 hours away, which is pretty fucking sweet. And it was nice to see him. And I've never met him before too. I've been following him for a long time, and he'd been following me for a long time, but we never got the chance to actually communicate to each other. So seeing him meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to him. It was really, really nice. And then he takes off. Anyways, I'm continue walking, and it's getting later. I usually try to find a spot to sleep at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If the sun sets later here, it sets at about like 7. Like when I was in California, I'd try to find a place at around 3. Now it's 4. Sometimes I try to find a place at 5. It was getting around 5 o'clock, like 5:30 almost, and I could not for the fucking life of me find a place to sleep, because here's my dilemma right now, and this is going to be fixed soon. But my dilemma right now is that I'm sleeping in a fucking hammock, a camping hammock, which in the beginning was fantastic. I had no problem sleeping in the hammock. It actually was a blessing. But now it's a fucking bitch. Now I can't stand sleeping in it. It hurts my goddamn hips when I'm sleeping. You can't, you have to sleep in a certain position. You're kind of like a mummy all cocooned up. And then the worst part, and I didn't know this, is that you cannot get warm in a hammock. Like, you can't stay warm. Because here's the thing about sleeping, and this is something you might want to fucking write down because it's a little important. When you sleep and you're staying warm while you're sleeping, the only way to stay warm is if the ground below you captures your heat. Now, most ground can do this, unless you're sleeping on a block of ice. If you sleep on a sandy floor, if you sleep on fucking gravel, anything, on concrete, as long as your body's warm and it heats the ground and the ground heats you, you're gonna be warm. You're gonna be warm. The thing about a fucking hammock, though, is you're floating above the ground. You're literally floating. So wind is going right underneath you. Ice cold wind hits about 30, 35 degrees out here in the desert. So 30-degree wind just right on your fucking ass bones. And it sucks. No wonder my hips hurt. And I hate it. So if I was in a tent, I'd be covered and everything would be fine. Now, so I have a sleeping bag, and I'm thinking like if I put enough layers on top of me, it'll keep me warm. That's not the case. When you sleep, everything on top of you is actually is keeping you cool. The bottom is keeping you warm. So when you put a lot of weight on top of you, though, it's pressing you down to the ground. It's making you warmer. You know? I don't know. Anyways, don't fucking bring a hammock to the desert. Because one, there's no fucking trees, and two, you're going to be freezing. So anyways, I found some trees finally. And it was right in like a fucking a place where you don't want to camp, because if there was a flash flood, you would die. It was like a watery place with the sand, and there was a big old sign saying flash flood war, don't fucking sleep here. Anyways, I slept there. That's where I normally sleep, honestly, because there's trees there. So I slept there, and it was a shitty spot, thorns everywhere. I'm feeling like shit, and then I run out of service. Actually, I had been out of service that whole day, and I'm like, I can't even call anybody to make me feel better. I can't even hop on Instagram, get a couple nice comments, get some inspiration for the day. None of that shit. I'd also been eating the same goddamn food forever, for the whole fucking day. It was just the same shit. So just like no variety, and it was a bummer. So I'm finally in my hammock, and I just told myself, because it really does get that cold at night. And what I would normally do is I'd get up in the morning really, really early at around 3, because the coldest time of the night is 6 o'clock in the morning. It's right before that sun comes up, because that's the longest it has been at night. So when the sun finally starts rising, degree by degree, it's going to start rising. But yeah, so if you get up at about 3, you're about 3 hours away from the coldest part of the night. So if you get up and start moving, hopefully your body will warm up and keep you warm as you walk. Sometimes it's not the case, though. But anyways, I just said to myself, I'm going to stay in this hammock until the sun rises, and then let the sun just kind of heat me up in the hammock, and just take all the time I need just sleeping in this goddamn hammock. So that was my plan. So I'm in bed, or in the hammock, and it's just about sundown. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to Two Bears, One Cave. I was listening to Two Bears, One Cave. And I knock out, and I got actually really good sleep. And I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh man, it's 2. Like, I guess I'll just like, I've already got, like a couple hours in me. I'll either just lay here. If I fall back asleep, that'd be nice, or I'll just like hang out. Kind of just, there's no service. I couldn't really, I just stare at the fucking, at the rain fly all morning or whatever, and just listen to podcasts. And as I'm laying there, let me just remind you really quick. I'm 20 miles from the last city that I came from, which was, hold on, let me make sure I know where I was coming from. Parker. I'm about 20 miles from fucking Parker. In fact, a little farther than that. Oh, not Parker. God damn it. I'm already fucking this podcast up. I'm 20 miles from Bouse. Okay? And I'm 20 miles. I left Bouse that morning. And I'm 20 miles from there. I'm also 20 miles away from Siloam. So I'm smack dab, butt fuck in the middle of these 2 cities. So there is nothing there. Nothing. Just desert, dude. Desert and a road. And that road ain't too fucking busy at night. So I'm laying there. It's pitch quiet. Desert quiet. All you can hear is the fucking wind. It's pitch black dark. It is so fucking dark. The moon, I had a full moon when I started. Now there's no moon anymore. The moon's gone. Doesn't exist. And I'm laying there, and I'm thinking to myself, sorry, I'm just putting my phone on vibrate. I'm laying there, quiet, dark, no people. It is just me in the desert. And all of a sudden, within the fucking quiet and the dark, I hear a high-pitched, fucking, in danger, like rape scream. I'm alone out there. And I hear this, like this fucking crazy scream. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm fine. I'm dehydrated. What's going on in my mind is I'm hallucinating right now. I'm dehydrated, I'm hallucinating, there's something, this is me doing this to myself. So I laid there and I was like, let's see if we hear this again. Hear it again, louder, closer, clearer, scarier. I'm like, fuck, there's a woman out here in this desert with me screaming, and I'm alone out here. I got no weapon. I got a little pocket knife that's more of a tool than a weapon. And I'm freaking out. And then I hear, help me, is anybody out there, help me? And I'm like, oh shit, like this woman is getting fucking raped right now or something, or she just got abandoned in this desert. So anyway, I spring up out of my hammock. I'm wearing socks. I'm getting my socks, getting thorns in my socks. I'm running out. I'm yelling, hello, because I'm fucking stupid. And I'm thinking, like, I'm going to help this person and I can't even help myself. I don't know what, so I should have just dialed 911. Even though I didn't have service, I should have made an emergency call and just said, there's a person dying out here, help this person. Instead, I decided to be the goddamn hero. So I'm yelling, hello. And then she yells back, hello, and I'm like, hi, over here. I had a flashlight, and I'm waving my flashlight. I'm like, do you see my light? She's like, I do, I see your light. I'm like, come over to my light. I have a camp out here. I'll help you. Like, you're safe with me, which is true. And she goes, okay, I'm coming. And through that brief conversation, I'm starting to get, like, an idea, like, who this person might be. And I'm thinking, like, she's just a fucking person. Like, she sounds coherent. And I'm like, what? I'm like still yelling across the desert. I'm like, what happened? And she's like, I'm just stranded out here. I'm lost. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is going to be okay. In fact, this might be nice. I might get company. Maybe God answered my prayers and sent me some company. So this is his idea of company. So she like crawls under a barbed wire fence and she's walking towards me. And I'm starting to see her, and I'm starting to calm down a little bit because, one, she's not being attacked, which was my biggest worry because I can't really defend her too well. The most I could do is do my best if I'm ever in that situation. But luckily it wasn't. She was just lost, and you know what? I can handle that. I have water. You know, she can hang out. She comes up to my lights flashing in her face, and I get a good look at her. And she was this. It was a nightmare. She was a full-blown tweaker, like to the max, 100%, just out of her mind, crazy. You could just tell right by her face. She comes up to my light. Her hair was cut in so many different lengths, so many different directions. Her teeth were fucking fucked up and yellow. Her lips were all bubbled up like she had some crazy disease. Her eyes were all bugged out. And then she had nothing but a fucking long sleeve and some sweats on with Crocs. It's 35 degrees outside, motherfucker. It's freezing temperatures, and she's walking around in goddamn fucking Crocs. She's got no flashlight, no water, no phone. The only thing she had, which she showed me later, was a box of matches and a fucking solar light that you would leave in front of your house to kind of like guide you through the path way to the house. You know, you can get them at like the 99-cent store or whatever the fuck. So I'm shining this light at her, and I just fucking think, I just think to myself, oh, fuck. So I just go, hello. And she says to me, first thing, it wasn't hello, wasn't thank you, wasn't, God, you hear all that pounding? I think it might be the cleaning lady, though. Next door. Well, she didn't say hello, she didn't say whatever. First thing that comes out of her mouth, biggest red flag, she just goes, you're cute. You're cute. And I was just like, thank you. Thank you so much. No, yeah, I actually did say that. But that was really weird. And I'm going, all right. I was like, well, this is me. And I show her my shit little fucking hammock rainfly situation. By the way, it's a hammock connected to 2 trees and a rain fly by string connected on top and then staked down on both sides. So it's like a triangle over my hammock. And so I told her, I said, the most I can give you right now is you can hang out underneath my rain fly. I don't have any more blankets. I don't have anything else, but you could just kind of hang out until morning. So you're not wandering around the desert. I also have water. She doesn't say thank you. She doesn't say whatever. She just wanders over to the rainfly, sits down, right? I go and sit down in the hammock, and then she gets up and then sits down in the hammock with me. And I go, oh, no. Like, listen, this thing can only hold about 200 pounds. This thing is not meant, like, if you sit on this with me, you're going to break it. She's not moving. She's like, where am I supposed to sleep? I'm like, well, like I said, you could just kind of hang out in the sand. Like, I'm sorry that you have to do that, but that's the most I can offer. And then she gets kind of all like and sits down in the sand. And I'm like, okay. And then she goes, do you have any food? And I was like, yeah, I got some food. I was like, here's some almonds. This is the most I can give you because I need the rest. I need the rest to get to the city that I'm going to. And she takes the almonds and she goes, that's it? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, do you have anything else? I was like, no, I don't. Not for you. For me, I do. For you, no. I was like, do you need any water? She goes, yeah. And then she grabs my water. I'm like, no, hold on. I was like, I have an empty water bottle. Let me fill this up for you. So I give her some water. She doesn't even drink it. And then she's sitting there, and she just, all of a sudden, this was another huge red flag. She just looks at me, and she goes, you're just going to get in the hammock like that? I'm like what? She goes, with pee all over you? I'm like, what? She goes, you peed yourself. That's okay. And I go, what are you talking about? She goes, I pee myself all the time. Don't worry about it. It's completely natural. And I'm like actually looking at my dick going like, did I piss my pants? I'm like checking myself. Did I pee all over myself? And no, I didn't. for clarification, I didn't pee myself, guys. And she goes, listen, it's fine. Like, I pee myself all the time. And I'm like, okay, dude, but I didn't pee myself. She goes, all right, well, just get in the hammock full of piss. And I'm like, okay. And then, so she's sitting down, and she's kind of smacking at my rain fly because it keeps touching her in the head. And she goes, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, this hammock, like, why did you set this up so stupid? And I'm like, dude, it's just, I don't know. I didn't have much around. Well, I don't know. She goes, can I set this up so it actually fucking works? And I'm like, whoa, like, God, you're so aggressive. And I'm like, okay. And so she starts undoing my hammock, and she starts hanging it in the trees. Like, not even covering us anymore. She starts doing some crazy tweaker shit and starts tying it up in the trees. And I just said to her, I said, you know what, dude? I said, you know what? This isn't working. I was like, this isn't working. I don't think I can help you tonight. Okay, now you're starting to fuck up my shit. So she doesn't really listen. She hangs it up in the trees. I'm trying to tell her to kind of like maybe fuck off a little bit. And then she gets really fucking hostile. And she turns around and she goes, you know what? I have been walking in the cold for fucking hours. It's 30 degrees. I can't feel my hands. And you're laying there in the hammock and you're all warm. Let me sleep in the hammock. And I was like, what? No, I said, I never asked to run into you. I never asked for that. She's like, you're all fucking warm. I'm like, dude, you understand this is my hammock. This is my shit. This is my life. You walked into my life. I gave you what I had. And she goes, can we cuddle? And I'm like, the fuck? No. I'm like, I don't fucking know you. It was a really stressful night. And then the last thing she does is she sees my melatonin jar. A glass. This is how much of a tweaker she was. She sees my melatonin jar, which is little pills. They're like tablets, and they activate the part of the brain that produces melatonin, and they help you sleep. It's not a drug. It's it's probably a drug, but it has melatonin and magnesium, and both of those things help you relax, help you sleep, whatever. They're supplements. She sees them. And yeah, they look like prescription fucking medication. She grabs them, starts pouring them in her hand, and she's about to take a handful of this fucking shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I grab them. I'm like, no. And I put it back in the jar. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? She's like, let me have some. I'm like, you don't even know what this is. She goes, I don't care. I'm like, what the fuck? This fucking bitch. So I put the melatonin away. I'm like, I just can't fucking believe what I'm dealing with now. And she stands up, and she just goes, you know what? I'm going to go find a fucking female to help me. All right? She starts crying. She goes, I'm going to find a female to help me. Someone who's more worried about helping me rather than just helping themselves. And I just went, okay. Sounds fucking great. And she walks away. Here's the crazy part. She doesn't walk towards the road, guys. She walks towards the fucking desert. And this is a desert. This is desolate as fuck. You ain't gonna find shit out there. She just fucking walks out into the desert. No water, no food, just the clothes on her back, and just disappears forever. And I'm like, that chick's dead. She's fucking dead. There's no way she's alive. So I'm sitting there. I'm all fucking freaked out. I do not want to run into her again. And so I fucking packed up my shit. Fucking it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just made a huge fire. And I just sat by the fire until the sun rose. But, God, that sucked. God. Never again, man. Never again. Ugh. From now on, if I'm ever in that situation, because I'll always help people, and I want to help people. But if I'm ever in that situation ever again, like where I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I hear someone screaming in the middle of nowhere, and no one can help me, I'm dialing 911. That's just like, you can't put your life on the line like that, man, when you're walking across America. Like, you're already endangering your life with what you're doing. You don't need to go any further. Alright, so that's how I'm starting off this motherfucking podcast, with a little story. A little bedtime story. And yeah, I don't know, man. It was fucking crazy. I would never be able to tell that story in detail if it was on Instagram or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, I'm at 29 minutes here. I'll try to make these about 30 minutes each. I don't know how often I'll do this. Probably every time I get a hotel room where I have decent quietness and soundproofness to do it, and internetness to post it. But yeah, This podcast is mostly going to be about veganism. I'll talk about the walk a lot. I will, but I will try to converse or try to talk about veganism with you guys. Try to get as far as I can with that because I'm not really able to do that in any other platform. And this is a great way to just kind of spill it all out in 30 minutes, and you can listen to it while you're fucking driving to work or whatever the fuck you want to do. So, yeah. And it's an important issue. It's actually the most important issue on this planet. It is the biggest moral emergency that our planet is facing right now. Biggest moral emergency, because I can walk anywhere right now with a sign saying like feed the homeless or help human rights issues. If I were to hold up a sign about human rights issues, nobody would bat an eye and they would agree with me. But if I were to hold up a sign in any other part of anywhere in the world saying stop eating animals, nobody would support it, or the vast majority wouldn't support it. That is a moral emergency, because eating animals contributes to the worst parts of climate change, contributes to world hunger, contributes to horrible things that our planet's facing right now. It contributes to human rights. All right? It's a very, very horrible thing that happens to this planet, is consuming animals, using animals. It's destroying this planet. And if you're not vegan already, you're either uninformed, misinformed, or you're just fucking ignorant. That's the truth. And so we'll talk about that more as the podcast goes on. It is almost 10 o'clock here. I cannot believe I'm doing this right now. I really need to go. I love all of you guys, and I really hope that everyone is living a vegan lifestyle, living a peaceful lifestyle, just trying to promote world peace every single fucking day, like I am. And let's see if I survive the walk. I'll be in Phoenix in 2 days. 2 fucking days in Phoenix, where my parents are actually going to meet up with me, and we will trade out some supplies, and we'll hang out for a couple days. Probably another opportunity for me to do a podcast. Maybe I'll do it with them. And so I love you guys. I really, really do. I love everybody who listens to this. I love everybody who doesn't harm animals. And I even love the people that do. I just really hope that you stop eventually. And I got to stop talking. I definitely can do this all day. It's pretty freaking fun, actually. All right. Love you guys, and stay safe in the crazy world we live in.